Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another battle in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. It looks like you guys, for the most part, really enjoyed the format that I took with that last battle. So I'm going to try and just streamline the army comps a little bit, just because a couple commented that they were just a little bit too drawn out, but the annotations or the kind of skip to in the comments section was something that you guys really enjoyed. So I'll keep the format kind of the same way going forwards, and please, again, any constructive criticism you have is very welcome. I'm not the one who's watching my videos, you guys are, so I want them to be perfect. So without further ado, let's take a look at the army compositions, and then we'll get the battle started. So the first army we're going to take a look at is the Kingdom of Lithuania, commanded by myself, and here is the Lithuanian Grand Duke of the early period, looking very good. He has a much better beard than I do, but I hope to aspire to his bearded success in my later years. I just find when my beard gets to a certain length, it just gets way too itchy and I want to get rid of it. But yeah, so there's the Lithuanian Grand Duke, and then I also have 3 units of mercenary Mazovian cavalry. This is a melee cav. I almost never go for melee cav, however it was a very low money battle, and I couldn't really afford the shock calves, so I went with tier 2 melee cav. And then I've got 4 units of these noble swordsmen here, which look pretty good. They're not the best ones that they can get, but they're just the next under as far as swords go. And then I have 4 units of these ducal axemen, which is a 2-handed axe. They're very cheap, and they're tier 1, but hopefully I can get some good flanks off with them. And they're pretty solid in melee against cavalry. And then I have 4 units of armored spearmen. And these guys, as far as looks go, are my favorite spears in this mod. I just love their shields, and they're even like beveled. If you can, it's kind of hard to see. But the center actually bevels out, which is really, really cool. Just those small details. And then I have 4 units of Ruthenian archers, so drawing on the Kievian Rus for my archer presence. And I love the Danish kind of looking shields that they carry. But that's it for my force, so let's go ahead and look at my allies. So deployed next to me on the left-hand side, we have the Kingdom of Castile, and we have Don Quixote leading this great Castilian army into melee. He's only got this is his unit, his general's unit. He's got his squire, who kind of is wearing the Rome 2 Helot Archer sombrero. But yeah, hopefully he can get some good kills before he's inevitably mowed down by crossbow fire. But for the rest of the Castilian force, he's got 3 units of Moorish horsemen, so not bringing any cavalry except for these Moorish horse archers. So we'll see how that works out for him. And then if we move into the front here, he's got Moorish archers as well, 4 units of them. And again, remember that this is a pretty low money battle, so crossbows, you're really going to spend a lot of your money if you go for crossbows. So that's why most of us are going for cheaper bows. And then he has 4 units of these Lanceros Armaduras, which hopefully is close. I hope I don't insult any of you guys who are Spanish with my Spanish pronunciations, but I'm giving it a try at least. So yeah, these guys are not bad. Tier 2 infantry, or spear infantry, and then we got some Almogavers. I think he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And he's also got some Aventurer Scutaferi. 2 units of them. Actually, I don't know. I should check. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so I was correct. I just want to make sure I'm accurate. And then the 2 Adventurers Scutaferi. So that is it for the Kingdom of Castile. So let's look at the last player on our side, and then we'll take a look at the enemies. So the last army on our side is the Kingdom of Sicily, and this is commanded by Hamdog CDXX. I also forgot to say that Castile was commanded by Moronic. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, we've got the King of Naples actually leading Sicily into battle today, and a very French-looking bodyguard, interestingly enough. I don't know what the historical relevance is, whether the King of Naples was from France originally. I'd be kind of interested to find out if any of you guys know. But taking a look at the rest of the Sicilian force, we've got some German nobles over here for cavalry. and it looks like the same on that flank, so 3 units of them total. And then we got a mix of swords, if we zoom back here, so you can see we've got 4 units of Spadaccini, and then 4 units of Guelph foot-men-at-arms. So we can kind of zoom in and take a look at them. They look very cool indeed. And we'll take a look at the Spadaccini. They have very large shields, which is pretty indicative of Italian factions like this. They tend to kind of have these large oval or rectangular shields. This reminds me of the Venetian heavy infantry from Medieval 2, actually. And then we got 4 units of Militia Lanciere. So 4 units of them, or no, scratch that. 2 units of them, and then 2 units of Lancia Sargente. My apologies. So he's got 2 units of cheaper spears and 2 units of heavier spears. And then for his archer force, again, bringing Muslim archers, 4 units. So just like Castile, bringing some Eastern archers to this battle. So really nice to see. But I think the money was 10k, so there's only so much you can afford. I kind of like lower money battles because it forces you not to spam out total elites. But that's it for the first side, so let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. So the first army we're going to take a look at on the enemy side is the Republic of Genoa, commanded by Gearhawk, and he's pretty partial to the Republic of Genoa. I've seen him play them quite a bit. It must be one of his favorite factions, or it's probably due to the fact that they've got a really well-balanced roster as well. But we got the General's Bodyguard here, and then for his cavalry, he's got some Genoese nobles. Looks like 3 units of them. And then we'll start from the back over here. So he's got 3 units of Piscieri, which is a tier 2 pikeman, which is really going to help him out in this low-money battle as well, because a lot of our infantry does not have good armor and melee defense. And then he has, I believe, 4 or 5 units, 4, 5, 6 units of communal swordsmen, and then he has 1 unit of foot condottieri. And this is a very expensive tier 3 unit, so hopefully he could get a lot of kills with them. And then he's got 2 units of communal spearmen over here. Again, love the red shields. And then he's actually gone for crossbows. He's got 4 units of this Ballestarie. So this is really just going to tear us up. He doesn't even need heavy shot. He'll just be able to mow us down with regular shot. But the only good thing is that we will have the range on him, so he is going to have to push forwards to get these crossbows into range. But yeah, looking forward to see how they perform in the battle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. So deploying right next to the Republic of Genoa on their left-hand side is the Kingdom of France. This is commanded by Grimgor, and he's got the Count's Household Guard that will be the General's Bodyguard. Again, looking very English. And then he's got some mounted Ecochet, which is a really, really solid cavalry unit. He's got 3 units of them. They're a tier 3 shock cav. And he's also bringing a couple units of pikemen, which is good for their side, I should say, not so good for us. So he's got 2 units of Piquier. And then he's bringing a lot of Ecochet footmen. And this is what really makes France so solid, is these guys are very, very cost-effective, and they are considered tier 3 infantry. So it looks like he's got 3 units of them. And then he has 2 units of Pavetier of the High Period. And then he's also going with crossbows, so he has 4 units of Arbaletier. So a little bit of a smaller army for France, but very elite and very powerful. I'm really looking forward to see how they perform against Don Quixote's army, as they will both be facing each other. And then Sicily will be up against Gearhawk's Republic of Genoa. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last army, and then we can get the battle started. The last army comp we have to take a look at is the Empire of Nicaea, commanded by AK Prime, and he's got his General's Bodyguard looking very glorious indeed. And what is he? It's the Emperor's Bodyguard of the late period, so I think that's the only late period general I've seen. And then he has some Dynatoi. I believe he has 3 units of them. Actually, 2 units of them. So he's bringing a little bit less cav. He's got 1 unit of the High Period. Oh, 2 units of the High Period, sorry. And then some more pikes. Now, these are cheaper pikes. They're only tier 1, the Counterparts. But I still think they're going to fare better against my Lithuanian infantry, because I will be facing AK Prime in this battle. And then starting over from this side, he's got his Varangian Guard. Of course, you can't go anywhere as Nicaea without the Varangian Guard. And they're a 200-man unit. That is insane. And then he's got a lot of Scoutatoy swordsmen. So I think he has about 6 units of them. 5 units of them. 4 units of them. Derp, come on, Celtic. Let's learn how to count here. Yeah, 4 units, not including the Varangian Guard. I was counting 5. And then he's got 2 units of Scutatoi, which is an early period spear, and 1 unit of spear militia. And he's got some bow cavalry over here, heavy horse archers. And then in front he's got some Mortatoi for his spears, or sorry, for his archers. So the only one on his team bringing archers. I wonder which one will be better, my Ruski archers or these Nicaean archers. We will find out very, very soon. So without further ado, let's get to the battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battle here, and it's going to start off with Castile actually sending their Moorish archers down my flank to harass the Empire of Nicaea. Now, he has 3 units of archer cavalry, and he is in the center, so that does kind of leave him protected from being outflanked at all. So I think that's why he's using his cavalry to maybe support my flank. But it looks like they're just going to pull back a little bit, and then, oh, no, looks like they're going to go back in for another shot. AK Prime has smartly put his spears into shield walls, so they're going to do, like, little to no damage against the spears. However, hopefully they decide to fire against that heavy shock cavalry. Yes, it looks like that's what they're going for. That's a much better target for this kind of cavalry because it's light and fast. You can get in there, shoot some of the shock cav down, and then retreat very quickly before they can attack. And actually, if we jump out of there, looks like the shock cavalry is facing the wrong direction. Doesn't look like there's too many casualties as of yet, which is good. They've only lost 3 men. And this is actually Grimgor's cavalry. It's not AK Prime's cavalry. The 3 on this side are actually working quite well together. But the battle's actually going to start right over here against the Kingdom of Sicily. We've got some of the Genoese nobles charging forwards into the ranks of the Muslim archers, or Muslim, depending on how you pronounce it. Looks like Hamdog's going to push forward his spears, but it's not going to stop this heavy shock cavalry quickly enough, especially with how light his spears are. They don't really have much of a staying power, so it looks like there's going to be a little bit more of an issue than we first anticipated. You can see that the Militia Lanciere are actually breaking from that charge. But we've got the German nobles closing in, so they're hopefully going to catch this shock cavalry before they can escape. And we've also got some Lancia Sargente. That would have been a better target to push forwards to maybe soak up some of the charge. However, the Muslim archers actually look to be relatively unscathed. He still has all of his units, and they are still almost full health. And now the Genoese nobles are starting to be picked apart. You can see they're starting to waver from just the relentless fire against the shock cavalry. Looks like he's going in for another charge over here, but we've got some more spears. And still a pretty effective charge, though, I do have to say. Pulling the spears down about 25 men. So it's a pretty good start for Gearhawk, and he's used this time to actually move his forces much, much closer to the Sicilian lines. Now all of these archers are kind of out of position, and they were focusing all on that 1 unit of cav. And meanwhile, Gearhawk is knocking right on the front door, and he's got his crossbows into a sufficient range now. I'd imagine they should be able to fire. Over here, it looks like we got another unit of Genoese nobles that is flanking around. And I'm not sure if they're going to charge into this unit of Spadaccini. It looks like Hamdog is going to pull them back to maybe watch his flank. But that was a kind of interesting charge there. 0 impact damage at all. So yeah, Gearhawk needs to get that cav back out of there and try again. More units being sent to the flanks as well, but as more units are being sent to the flanks, it means that this front line is getting weaker and weaker. However, we do have the communal swordsmen pushing forwards, and that just looks really nice. Looks like we've got some of the German knights charging to try to catch that cavalry, but the communal swordsmen were able to push them back. So Hamdog smartly is going to be pulling his German nobles back out of that fight. Unfortunately, though, I bet you these Ballistari are just racking up the kills against this cavalry. Yeah, he's going to get them out of there, which is smart. I think I told Moronic to send his Moorish horsemen over to this flank, though, as I kind of, you know, didn't really have anything going on my side. As you can see, it's a bit of a stalemate over here. We're basically just watching to see how this fight goes. But in the center, it looks like Grimgor is moving up his Arbaletier, and he's following closely with AK Prime Scutatoy swordsmen. And it looks like they're going to try to be double-teaming the center, so I have to be very careful to lend support to my ally in the center as well. Meanwhile, AK Prime has divided his forces quite a bit. He's got his Scutatoy, he's got his archers, some cavalry, and his pikes over here. But I'm feeling pretty confident that my force can take care of them. Only 9 minutes left in this battle, too, so it's going to explode very, very soon with heavy fighting. But I'm just keeping an eye out to see which of the engagements happens first. I think we're just kind of softening up the defense a little bit. Got Gearhawk moving forwards his crossbows even more, but Hamdog, he's not going to sit there and just get shot up. So let's go ahead and put this on slow motion. Looks like we got some cavalry charging through the ranks of Gearhawk's men, actually knocking several of them down. I think he was trying to get a nice charge off on the Guelph men-at-arms. But they are going to be pushed into melee now, which is excellent. And we've got the Moorish archers firing overhead as well. But I think these Guelph men-at-arms should be able to hold their own for at least a little while in melee. Got more of them coming into the fight over here. So very nice long battle line. There we go. Push. Nice. Nice charge. Actually pushing the communal swordsman back quite a bit there. And how we looking on the other sides? Not much going on. I'm kind of redeploying some of my forces because I feel like I don't need the full might of my army over to this side. So I'm actually swapping my noble swordsmen over to the left and my armored spearmen to the right. But looks like we got some Cavs, some Dynatoy coming in over here. A little bit nervous to see where they're headed. I think they're probably going to be going for a charge on my archers, which is a smart thing to do. And I actually, yeah, I react, but that's a little bit too late. I've got to get my spears into position. Luckily, I've got some of my Mazovian cavalry over there to soak up some of the charge. And yeah, you can see my Ruthenian archers trying to pull well behind my lines. Can go ahead and release that unit of cav there. But yeah, the center is still not much going on there. I push forwards with my Mazovian cavalry to try to capitalize on that unit retreating, but I am pulling myself well into range of the archers. Luckily, he is retreating them, so I don't think they're getting any shots off right now. I was going to try and sneak this unit of Mazovian cavalry over, but AK Prime was ready with his pikes to zone me out. And now we're playing a little bit of a cat-and-mouse game. I've got my spears blocking off that Dynatoy, so he's going to retreat once again. But let's go ahead and take a look at most of the meaty, grindy fighting over here, which is happening between the men-at-arms and the communal infantry, or the communal swordsmen. Gearhawk has got his pikes in the mix now, and as you can see, that is just causing horrendous morale dropping for the Guelph men-at-arms. They are fleeing this battlefield and opening up the line. And I hope I'm not shouting at you guys. It's a little bit hard because when I go to record on my new PC for some of the campaigns, my videos are a lot quieter, but then when I go to my old PC, the microphone doesn't translate the same for some reason. It's just so much louder. So I don't want to end up like screaming in your guys' ear. I can do something. If it's really bad, just let me know and I can maybe do something about that. Try to do a couple of test videos to reduce my screaming factor. I'm just so excited. It's 12-12. So excited. And Gearhawk's still causing some problems with his Genoese nobles over here. I'm just trying to see what kind of battle line there is over on this flank, but there's not really. I'm going to push forwards over here, though, and watch this fight for a little bit because it's really starting to kick off. I've got my noble swordsmen using their pila against the Skutotoi swordsmen. There you go, getting a couple of nice shots off. And then charging into melee. My noble swordsman should be able to beat the Skutotoi swordsman. And I've got my axes over here as well. Just trying to plug the gap. How we looking on this side, though? Those pikes are what really worries me. Yeah, I really don't have anything over here that can stop those pikemen. Let's go ahead and put this on slow motion again. Nice, knocking down that cavalry unit there. But, again, my armored spearmen should be able to win against these spears because they are very cheap. These Skutotoi of the early period should not be able to hold up against my armored infantry. However, over here against the pikemen, it's a different story. I'm not really going to be able to handle the fighting that much over on this flank. And that cavalry worries me as well. He's got a lot more cavalry than I do. I really, really, truly believe that it's a total mistake to bring melee cavalry in 1212. They just never perform as well as the shock cavalry. You can see that they've just been decimated over here. I don't know what it is. Like, it's not even that the shock cavalry have a better charge. Because as you can see, my general has a charge of 49. And then these Mazovian, they have a charge of 22. But after the charge is all said and done, I still feel that the shock cavalry can hold for longer in melee than the melee cav can, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, I really should have just gone for better cavalry. Whoever wins the cavalry fight wins the battle. That's what I truly believe about Attila and its mods. However, it looks like in the center still not much is going on, and it's really too bad because Castile, their Lanceros Armaduras, they are just getting peppered down by these Alblezie. They are doing work against these spears. Like, if we kind of look over, look at all these dead. These were not like fighting in melee. These have been shot down. And I think these are archers as well. So I guess the Moorish archers not really performing as well as Moronic had hoped, I'd imagine. But yeah, over here we've actually got the King of Naples in melee, where the general's bodyguard for Genoa is just kind of up on that hilltop watching the battle, seeing how it goes. So enough yapping on from me. Let's go ahead and enjoy some of these close-up fights. Yeah, these pikes, man, they do really well in low money battles. If you can find some cheaper pikemen and then protect them obviously from archers, then you're looking pretty good. I wonder where that foot condottieri went. Where are they fighting? Here they are. They're over here, actually. Looks like they're coming over here to deal with some of the Spadaccini because the pikes actually are outflanked over here, so well done by Hamdog actually breaking this unit of Piccieri, which is really good to see. Yeah, they are routing off the battlefield, but we've got the foot condottieri closing in very, very quickly. Looks like we've got countercharged by the Spadaccini here. Oh, there we go. Somebody losing their head there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other battle lines. So if we turn on the HUD, I am slowly beating back. The Varangian Guard actually starting to waver over here, which is really good against my armored spearmen. But I think I did get a couple of really good rear charges on the backs of the Varangian Guard as well. But if we kind of zoom forwards, you can see that the pikemen are pushing into melee. We've got showers of arrows coming down as well. Just fighting everywhere. So this is one of the quickest 12-12 battles that I've ever uploaded. but it is just action-packed. Trying to catch the pikemen moving forwards against my armored spearmen. My armored spearmen are pretty depleted at this point. And in the center, is France even engaged? France is mostly engaging me, so that's what the kind of the problem is. Moronic, all of his Almogavers way back here, I really could have used them to help me in this line, because I'm actually fighting France with half of my force, and then I'm fighting AK Prime's Nicaea with this other force, and my general is actually breaking off the battlefield now, which is not good. On the other side, Sicily looks like they have been beaten back as well. So now the jaws are just going to close on the Kingdom of Castile here. Again, he's just letting these Ballistariers just pepper them down. Yeah, there they go. Just firing into the ranks of those spears. Getting a lot of good kills. Let's see this fight over here. So we've got some communal swordsmen over here. So we do have some Castilian forces over here, which is good. So it does look like Moronic is really focusing on supporting Sicily. Can go ahead and put on the battle music there, where the battle sounds. I think we still got the pikemen over here as well. Yeah, doing a really good job. There's just not much that we can do against this pikeman except to get some rear charges on it like you saw Hamdog do. But we're out of cavalry at this point. We don't have any more cavalry. My Mazovian cavalry just broke so quickly. And I think that, to be honest, I've pretty much been swept up over here by AK Prime. Yeah, I've got some Ruthenian archers trying to quickly retreat from the counterparts, but I'm just trying to get back a little bit so that I can fire more. But it's only a matter of time before we've got some cavalry coming in here. Yeah, you can see the Emperor's bodyguard in the late period probably not going to let me get too many kills. But we are going to try and fire. There we go. Got one volley off before getting trashed by the Nicaean shock cavalry. And there go my spears. The last of them were breaking, and they came back, so I'm charging them back into melee. But that's pretty much it for my army. So by the balance of power, you can pretty much see who's going to win this fight. I forgot to show you the man count at the beginning, if we can get it to pop up here. So we actually had 7,700 and they had 6,850. But we are down to like 1,800 men. They still have 4,300 men, so really effective fighting by the enemies. And now all of these troops have been outflanked as well. Yeah, our advantage has definitely been lost. Actually, we gotta find where Don Quixote is over here. We gotta watch this little general charge here. Don Quixote finally decides that he's going to save the day and turn around this battle for good. I think he's gonna go after some of those French archers that caused so many deaths for his soldiers. But yeah, I really like this marshy battlefield as well, too. But Don Quixote's actually going around them so that he doesn't get bogged down by the water. Come on, Don. There we go. Yeah, there they are. Quickly before they get a shot off. Nice. Nice charge there. Oh, and now some of the other Arbaletiers are going to be firing. And there goes the Squire. He's down as well. It's just left to Don Quixote, and he falls. There we go. The Allies' general has fallen. If we go down over here, you can see poor Don Quixote next to his Squire. Little screenshot there. Little sad face. And look at these haughty French pikes here. Murderers. You murdered Don Quixote.
The men are running. Stay
But yeah, we're down to the last 23 seconds of the battle. So yeah, we pretty much did get trounced that round. But we tried our best. We should have brought factions that had pikemen as well. I think that would have been better. And like I said, my mistake was to bring melee cav. I should have followed my cardinal rule and not brought melee cav to a 12-12 battle. But let's go ahead and take a look at the results. So it looks like we'll take a look at Moronic's army first. So a couple of his Almogavirs, these Lanceros Armaduras, one of them doing okay, but the rest not. These units got destroyed. His Armogavirs, most of them getting destroyed as well. He got some good kills with his archers, but his cavalry, not so much. I guess that's not bad, 67 for Moorish horsemen. And then Hamdog's forces, a lot of his spears got annihilated. His Guelph men-at-arms getting, like, no kills in that fight. But his Spadaccini doing much better. They were a very solid force. And his archers doing okay. And his cavalry, unfortunately, just being bested by a higher-tier cavalry. That was really the only issue there. And then for my forces, my general not doing too bad. My armored spearmen, pretty solid, I would say. But these noble swords kind of suffered. They really should have gotten better kills. And my Ducal Axemen getting annihilated, my archers getting annihilated, and my cav really not doing that well. Looking at Grimgor's forces, look at that, 254 kills with his general. That is really good. And his Ecouché footmen doing really well. His Arbaletier doing excellent, 224 with his crossbows. That's probably all on the Castilian forces. And his cavalry doing well. So well done by him. He's got all around a really high kill ratio. And pretty much same for Gearhawk as well. Look at this. His communal spears doing good. Pikes, solid. The foot condottieri, 229 kills. His communal swords, all over 100. His crossbows, insane. His cav, insane. So well done by him. And AK Prime's forces against mine. Yeah, he did pretty solid. His archers did way better than mine. Ranging Guard, 100 kills. But yeah, they all worked together really, really well. I think we should have been a little more cohesive on our side as well. I kind of split off to do my own thing, and then I got surrounded, and, you know, such is the life in 12-12. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.